Alright, we're also gonna do the pour. Fire it up. Key, ignition. Welcome back to another video, YouTube. Working on the 500cc mini bike some more. Making a little bit more progress here. We got the foot pegs on and our shifter here. So that's sweet. Got them in a nice spot. We trimmed the exhaust up because we don't know where we're gonna run it fully yet. We got it wide in the rear and stretch it. And we're not sure where that pipe is gonna go yet, so we wanna make sure that the exhaust isn't gonna be in the way. So we cut that section off again. And I took the forks out because I need to stiffen the springs by adding spacers, but these things are a humongous Allen key. And I either have ones that are too big or too small. So I gotta go to the store and take this with me and buy one that's gonna fit. Which is annoying, but whatever. At least one more tool I'll have. We're gonna start the gas tank. I got this piece of metal right here. This is from the old gas tank that came on the street bike, like for the 500, like the actual street bike. I have the cap here and the key, so I'm gonna run this as the top of the tank, and I'm just gonna drill a hole in the bottom and weld a little like pipe on and make a little bar basically that's gonna come out. But I gotta start mocking up where I want it to go, because I want it to come across here and then come hang out the sides, maybe like an inch all the way around. And then it's gonna sit flat on top of here, and then it's gonna come up, and you know, cap will be right in the middle here. So I gotta make that. I'm gonna mock it up with cardboard first, and then I can take that cardboard and trace it out onto my stainless steel sheet metal I have over there, and then we can start welding it together, cutting it out and everything. We also made 1 3/4 inch spacers that we put in the tops of our springs here yesterday to stiffen the front forks, because before, just the sheer weight of the engine would make the fork sag like almost an inch and a half maybe even. So now with the spacers in here, the bike no longer sags like it did, and the front forks are much stiffer, which is what we want. Because with this kind of weight, you know, you don't want to have super squishy soft front suspension. So that also helped raise it back up off the ground. We got more clearance now. And then this is a 19 inch front tire, like 19 tall. The new front tire I'm getting that's speed rated for 130 miles per hour is 21 inches tall. So it's significantly taller, so it'll raise the front end up even more. And then we're gonna obviously stretch the rear and lower it down, like the axle down, so that way it'll raise the rear of the bike up too. And we will be getting a new tire for the back that's 18 tall, so it's 1 inch smaller than what's currently on here. So the back will actually go down from the tire, but that's okay because it's gonna be 10 inches wide, so it's gonna be fat. And it's gonna look so mean on the back of this thing. It's gonna be insane. But that's for the next video on this thing, because we still gotta order parts for that and get the tires here and everything. I got some of the parts, but waiting on some to come. We gotta do the cooling after the gas tank. I have the radiators in the mail. We're gonna be running 2 CRF 450 radiators on this thing. They're thicker, and they are gonna go on the sides here somewhere. We'll figure it out. And I got new cooling lines and a coolant temperature sense, like cap for the radiator, so I will be able to see exactly how hot the engine's getting from here and here. So that'll be nice. So we got the gas tank all welded up, inside and out. This is the design we came up with. It's gonna sit like this, right here on top of our frame. Just like that. So I don't think it looks too bad. And it'll be able to hold a decent amount of fuel. Hopefully it'll get a good, like, 15, 20 miles out of it, maybe more, depending on how we ride, I don't know.
This engine shouldn't drink too much, but the only way to know is by testing it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see if it leaks anywhere, pour some water into it.
Yep.
get the top welded on.
Yep, and grind it up and clean it up. Make sure it looks good.
And then, well, actually, first, before we get the top on, we're actually going to drill out and get our bung in.
Yeah. Alright, so we got it all welded up, and all sanded down. Looking good. Now we're going to fill it up with water and see if it holds. Alright, we're also going to do the pour. Nice. Solid pour.
Oh, you just had to say something.
Oh, it's coming out the corner right here.
No.
Yup. The corner's leaking. If that's the only thing that leaks, I'm alright with that. Look, that little corner right there, the back one. Any other ones?
I'm gonna pick it up.
Nope. Looking good so far. Yup, just stripped up the bottom. It's coming out that corner, I think. Alright, let's dump the water out and then let's weld that corner and sand it down again. So we got the gas tank mounted on now, and we got what we think is all the leaks welded shut, hopefully. So we're gonna try filling up with gas. We got our fuel line on with a shut-off switch going down to our carb. Put one size bigger of a jet in the carb. It's up to a 182 now, so we'll see how it runs. But we got a lot of the things here for the cooling. I'm still waiting on the radiators. They should hopefully come tomorrow. We got this nice thermostat to be able to tell our temperature here. Our overflow tank. All our coolant hose in here. And we got our jets, of course. So once the radiators come, and we can hook up the cooling, and should be good. Yeah, go ahead, fill it up. Fire it up. Key. Ignition. So we've been working on the 500 some more today. We got the radiators in, so we're gonna open them up and check them out. We've just been talking over what we're gonna do for this cooling system and how we're gonna route everything and where it's all gonna go. Cause it's a lot that we gotta fit on this tiny little frame, so. Yeah, don't pry that with the knife, please.
No, it's a nice knife.
Yeah. Let's see what they look like. There's one.
Honestly.
Oh, they're nice.
Big. You got some damage, sadly. Oh, bad damage.
Yeah, it's not good. It's alright though, it's not the end of the world. A couple bent fins and terrible. Alright, so on the fuel tank we made, it's been having some leaks. This top sheet metal here is so thin, it's so hard to weld to without burning through because this is so much thicker. But we're gonna go around this whole edge all the way around again, re-weld it, and then grind it down again, and leave a little bit of the weld all the way around. So it won't look as good, but it'll seal way better. So that's all we really care about. It'll get powder coated, so it won't be as noticeable then. So Russell's gonna start doing that.
It'll only be noticeable to us.
Yeah. And while I keep working on the cooling system here, I got this little Y pipe I made here at my shop. I TIG welded it, aluminum here. Goes from the two top tubes because I want to delete the thermostat because I don't want to have two radiator caps. I don't want to have two lines for the overflow tank. And the thermostat's just so bulky and big. It takes up so much room. There's not really any good spots for it on this bike. So I'm gonna delete it because we have this cap here that will tell us how hot the coolant is. So it doesn't matter what that up there will say. And it'll make it look cleaner and be simpler and easier, and it shouldn't overheat as easily then too, because we plan to ride this in the sand dunes and stuff, so it's gonna be hot down there, obviously. North Carolina is like 100+ degrees usually down there during summer, so when we're out there full throttle in 100-degree weather, you know, you don't want your thing getting over 200 degrees or else you'll seize it. So hopefully these two thick radiators and no thermostat will be able to cool it without a fan. If we need to add a fan one day, we will, but hopefully we don't have to.
This new Y pipe is looking mint.
I know, right? It's so nice.
Second one's better than the first.
Yeah, I made one yesterday, but I used the wrong size tubing.
Way too big.
Yeah, a lot too big, but this one is beautiful. I Dremel tooled out the inside with a chatter bit at my shop to clean out all the burrs and everything and all the weld that bled through, because this pipe's so thin. It
penetrated through and then...
Yeah, it would bleed through when you lay a weld, because aluminum just gets so hot. So I ground it out for... I only had the aluminum welder at 80 amps. That's low. That's low. For aluminum, that's low.
For anything.
Yeah. So, and it was still burning through, so I could have turned it down more, honestly, but it'll work good.
It worked. It looks fine.
Yeah. We just got the first tab for the radiator on. Bottom one there, and we'll work on the top one next. And then we got the first radiator on. Then we gotta do the other side, figure out where we're gonna put our overflow tank. We have to get more line for the overflow tank because the line I have is not long enough. And then we'll have to run all that and do all our lines from the engines and everything. This guy's gotta go from here up to here. The one down here is gonna go to the top of this radiator up here, and this one's gonna run it back to the engine. So, yeah, lots of lines and hoses we're gonna have to go and route, make sure they don't get kinked, make sure they're not gonna get burned or melted by anything, make sure they're not gonna get caught on anything. So, a little bit of ways to go till the cooling's done, but we're slowly getting there step by step. It's coming out nice, I'd say. We got both tabs mounted, looking good. It's got clearance for full steering lock. It doesn't hit, which is perfect. Looks nice. And when you sit on it, and your feet up in foot peg position, your knees aren't even close.
Plenty of room.
Plenty of room. Even in race position.
Don't even worry about
Yeah. So now I gotta work on the other side, get the other side mounted up too, just like this. Put it over here. And then we start running our lines and our hoses. Russell's almost done welding up the gas tank.
Yep, and then I'm gonna go ahead, grind it all.
Clean it up, yeah, a little bit.
To look like this the best I can.
Yeah. So we got the first bracket tacked on. Well, welded on actually, I should say, for the left radiator. We're looking good. It looks mean like that. I love the way it looks. And we got our top hose on here as well. It's got a little routed.
Thing's gonna have some cooling.
Yeah, it's gonna be ready.
Run for more than 2 seconds on idle.
Exactly.
We're getting closer to a runner.
Yup.
Or roller. Driver.
Yeah, this thing's coming out nice. It's coming out really nice. I love the gas tank. The clearances on everything are so tight, it's ridiculous.
But it fits.
Yeah, it fits. Barely.
We made it work. We made it happen.
Yup. Alright, so I'm working on the 500 some more today. AKA the Kraken. That's what we've decided we're gonna name this thing. Cause it's just a monster, you know? So like the Kraken, sea monster. We're probably gonna paint it like green and blue or something like that. But I got almost all the air out of the cooling system. I have to start it up again and then take the cap off and keep adding while it drops and circulates to get all the air bubbles out. But I have to add their overflow tank now because it needs an overflow tank because you can't run a cooling system without one. So I'm going to be putting this guy right here on the gas tank because unfortunately your overflow tank has to be higher than your radiators. I originally wanted to put it back here off of like this guy right here, so it'd be sitting like right down here or something, like right in this area, or on the other side of the bike in the same spot. But I looked it up and did some research, and if it's below your radiator, like spill out point, it won't drain back into your radiator when the engine cools down again. It'll just stay in here, so you'll constantly fill it and you'll never empty it. So it has to be above so that way it can fill and then empty as well, so you don't lose all your coolant. So unfortunately we're gonna have to put it on the gas tank because that's the only spot that's higher, unless we're gonna put it on the handlebars, which is a terrible idea. So I think on the gas tank right here, but we don't need it to be this big, so I'm gonna take it to my shop, I'm gonna sandblast it, and I'm gonna cut it right here across this all the way through, and then also right through right here all the way across, and I'm gonna take out the center section here and weld the cap right to the bottom, so our thing will be like this tall, basically like a quarter of the height or like a third of the height, and it'll look a lot better, and it'll sit right here and just be small, and yeah, so it just is what it is. It's the only place it can be on this bike where it's not going to be in the way. So I made this little plate here. I'm going to drill out these two holes and then cut it out, and then we can weld it to our tank and bolt this guy up right here like this. Hopefully it's not in the way of our knees when we ride. Or your knee might rest against it, I don't know, we'll see. So we're putting the 500 away for a little while. We finished up the Overflow here, got it all TIG welded up. It's perfect size now. Clears the bars, mint and everything. So that'll be nice. Tank's done, that's sealed up and everything good. Radiator's full of coolant and everything, doesn't overheat. So it's close to being able to be tested. You got the carburetor tuned a little bit better. Still a little bit rich, especially on the top end. You gotta
going up in size now. We're
too big.
Back down almost to where it should be.
Yeah. But next up, we're gonna order up a bunch of parts. I got the rim back there for it, but I gotta order the axles, the jag shaft, the sprockets, the tires, and the forks that we're gonna be running, and the new bars and everything for it. So once I order all that stuff,
And still have to stretch it yet.
yeah, then we'll bring it back home and do the stretch and start working on all that fun stuff and getting it lifted and everything. Finish up the exhaust. So we'll be parking here for now. We're gonna be working on the mini bike and the 3-wheeler and our next custom go-kart project we're gonna be starting. So while we wait for parts for this. So we hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Check out the TikTok and Instagram for updates and like sneak peeks of projects and stuff that we do before they get dropped on YouTube. It's Mini Metal Fab, same as the YouTube. And we'll see you in the next build of Russell's mini bike. We actually test out his 420 on that thing and see what it can do.